Hey guys, it's Andrew Esquivel here, back with another review, and today I'm going to be talking about this filter right here. Now, this filter is from a brand called Natural Breeze. It replaces the standard HAC-504 paper filter that you see over here. Now, this one's interesting because it's actually made of a type of plastic where, as I said before, is made from paper. Now, this started out white and it turned very brown because I use hard water in my humidifier. Now this one's blue, and it doesn't turn brown per se, but it does end up turning a little white, and I suppose there is a bit of brown up here at the top where it would sit inside the humidifier. The water levels get to about there as it sits there. Now, I can say, based on the time that I've used this, which has been a few weeks since I first got it, that it does work, and it works very well. I dare say that the water actually gets soaked up through this filter a lot faster than the paper filter. But the reason why you would want something like this is because you're supposed to be able to wash it. Whereas with this, you can kind of run it under the sink and hope some stuff falls off of it, but you can't really thoroughly wash it. Now, in order to wash this, you're supposed to use vinegar and let it soak overnight for situations where you have severe calcification. With lighter situations, you can use dish soap inside the tank or reservoir in your humidifier, and it'll help break up the minerals and other sorts of deposits that get stuck in there. But because I purposely decided that I was going to use this filter for a long time so that it would build up this calcification, because a lot of people who have this say that the filter can sort of disintegrate here at the seam if you use vinegar to clean it like the instructions say. Now, I don't know if I believe that, because this is a pretty well built filter. It's very sturdy, but I do notice that it seems like it was sort of glued together here at the seam. So I'm going to try it and see what happens, and I'm going to document how well it cleans itself, because the point of this filter is to be able to use it for a really long time without having to replace it. So let's go ahead and give that a shot and see what happens. So I just poured in some all-natural distilled white vinegar with 5% acidity, and it starts to foam up around the filter. Now, from what I've read, you should be able to reuse the vinegar so you don't have to throw it out. So we got the top onto this little Tupperware case, and I'm not sure if it's a reaction between the vinegar and whatever's in the filter that makes it bubble up. You can see there, got a lot of bubbles going on in there, so something's happening. Okay, so I've been letting it clean for a few hours now, and I can see that the vinegar has already made a huge difference. So now I'm going to take it out, and I don't want to lose too much of the vinegar. Look down there, it's pretty mucky, about the same color as the stuff on the paper filter. So in order to not make a mess, I've got this over a sink. Can I just let it sit for a minute? I'm going to squeeze out the rest of the vinegar, and I'll just pour it back in the tub here. Got a lot out. Now, I didn't leave it overnight. It's just been about 4 or 5 hours. And the seam here, where it's kind of glued together, seems pretty well intact. I don't think there's going to be a problem. So I just kind of like squeeze the rest of the vinegar out. Well, not squeeze, just kind of lightly squeeze, I guess. And then all we've got left to do is just rinse off the rest of the vinegar, and then this goes right back into the humidifier. So unfortunately, as I was about to put this filter back into my humidifier tray right here, I had noticed that it started to fray a bit, and one of the walls of this filter started to fall apart. Now, if I tug too hard, it's going to keep pulling apart. And I believe this is probably what the people in the reviews were talking about. I thought they meant here at the seam, but that's not the case. Now, I don't feel that this will compromise its ability to do its job, but I do feel that over time this may compromise its integrity, meaning it will eventually fall apart. Now, I suppose you can take some string and kind of needle it through there and tie it together and it won't fall apart, but you shouldn't have to do something like that. Anyway, it is the last part of this review that I thought I would put. Originally, like I said, I was going to give it an A+, but given that it's doing this, I'm afraid I'm going to have to bump it down to a B. So, oh well, we'll see how it goes. If anything changes and it starts to really fall apart, I will update the review. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video, hope it was informative, and thanks for watching.